All right, everybody. Joining me now, she is a singer-songwriter out of Philadelphia. Sudha Sai, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
I was telling you off air, I said this is the first Philly artist. So how did you get to Philly? Talk about your start in the music and introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so my name's Sudha Sai. I also go by, well, the proper way to say it, I guess, but I don't enforce it, is Sudha Sai. Um,
Hold on, let me try it. Let me try it. Sudha
okay,
Sai.
go ahead.
Sudha
Sudha.
Sai.
So try saying, so the first part, so you got it right, and then say the word the, like THE.
The.
Yeah, Sudha.
Oh, Sudha?
Yeah, exactly. So
Oh,
like when you write it in an Indian language, it's like a DH sound, but here we just say the as pretty much the same thing. So
okay, because I'm doing the T silent, so I'm doing just SUDDA kind of sign, like like that,
that
like the
works too.
pronunciation. You know
You
what I
said it
mean?
right at the end. Yeah.
So,
So I don't
anyways,
really enforce it because we end up going back and forth a lot. And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine. But so my start in music started very, very young when I was like probably 3 or 4 years old. I was always humming. So um the funny story about it is that I went with my parents when they were doing this like group singing thing where they were taking lessons in a group. And I sat there quietly instead of playing with the kids, and I wanted to like be around them, just like listening.
right.
And when we came home, they were practicing, and as like a 3-year-old or something, I was correcting them, which they thought to be really cute, but they were like, maybe we should get her some lessons. So my whole entire beginning of when I was singing was all like Indian classical music. And that's definitely like a huge, it's definitely like a huge part of how I began, but it's morphed over time. I like grew out of it for a little bit, and then I came back to it, and now I feel like
Mhm.
it's incorporated very much into what I do.
So
But in
did you grow up?
between,
Did you grow up in India?
no, no, I was born here. I was born on the West Coast, in
Okay,
Oregon, and then PA from like age 12 onwards.
gotcha,
So,
gotcha.
but yeah, and then so I'm not a full-time musician. I just really picked up the pace in the past year and a half because I kind of got a kick in the pants when I realized like I wanted to be on stage, on like kind of a
Mm.
big stage. And I was like, I can do some of the stuff that they're doing. Like when I'm watching people on stage, I was like, I can do that, but why am I not there? And I got kind of annoyed with myself because how would they know to ask me to do that? How would they know to invite me to a show to
Mm.
to sing up there? So I was like, all right, I have to like make my social media presence known and like actually do things that align with what I like musically.
So, like I said, this is the first artist from Pennsylvania. So, what's the scene like over there? I have no idea what the music scene is like in Philly. So, can you paint a
Yeah.
picture for me?
I feel like there's a lot going on. It's a little bit underground. I won't say that I like find a sorry, let me backtrack. I don't make a lot of effort to go out and listen to things, but I know that when I look, I find a lot of open mics, I find a lot of jazz. I find a bunch of my friends go to just like they'll go to a bar where they host like an open stage type thing, and
Open mic, right?
it's kind of like an open stage because a bunch of people can hop up there and they'll jam
Oh,
together.
okay.
Or like I should even call it an open jam. And so anyone
I
would
know
be
what you're
invited
talking
to
about.
throw.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
So that's been really cool to watch. I've been a little bit timid to get up there and join them, but there's a lot of that, and there's there's a lot happening. There's like DJ sets happening. A lot of it is underground. It's not like
Yeah,
super
because I don't
super
hear
out
about
there.
it. Like, but granted, most artists I invite on the show or find out about are Nashville, but
I
I
see.
still I still haven't heard too much about the Philly scene. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Yeah, and it does sound like it's a little bit of an underground.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think it's kind of cool that Philly has like it's almost like no expectation when you go in there because you never know if you're gonna find like a little like a small artist who's really like you think they'll make it big later. There's no pressure. Like no one's expecting anything. So really anyone can go up there. But then it's like a grab bag if if you have that situation.
so
You could
is
end
it
up
mostly
mhm.
like is a lot of it like pop and like is there like a good R&B scene or is it all over eclectic?
I'm probably a bad person to make a generalized statement about it. However, I do hear a lot about jazz influence. So I would actually lean that way, but there's also a lot of pop, of course.
Yeah. So, who's your influences like growing up?
Gr- Oh my gosh. So this is like it's a funny question because I grew up with so much Indian music. So I don't think anyone would really like recognize a lot of the names, but they were like
No, go
old.
for it. Go for it. I'm no judge. No,
They're
say
yeah, like they're like
give them their flowers. You know, go ahead.
sure, like the I guess they were all like Indian classical artists, like singers growing up. So I went to a lot of concerts like with my parents. They would just like take us, like me and my brother. So but it was like artists like Nitishri or like Sudha Raghunathan. And I don't think anybody like who's listening to this
They
would know
have
who that is,
Google. They
but
have Google, Suda. They
they
have
do.
Google.
True, true, true. And you said my name perfectly, by the way. But
Man, you're a
like
stickler when it comes to name. I'm gonna
no,
try.
not at all. I'm just like appreciating when someone actually puts in the effort because that's
No,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Um
I appreciate that you appreciate that. There you go.
yeah. But yeah, like after that, I feel like there were just like the regular pop artist influences when I was in high school and whatnot. And then when it came to like think like top 40s, like super basic.
Of
But like
course.
when it came to like more recent years, I guess I got into like the real like urban Indian, like urban Desi pop or like urban Desi music. So like names like Mickey Singh or like Jonita Gandhi. They're like more up and well, I wouldn't even say up and coming. They were up and coming and now they've come. They're here. But
Hold on.
they have like
What was the first name? Last name was Singh. What's the first name? I'm gonna look.
Mickey, M
M
I C
I
M I C K E
Mickey,
Y, yeah,
like the cartoon,
Singh.
like the cartoon. All right, Mickey
Yes,
Mickey Singh.
yeah,
Oh, it's a
and
guy.
it's a guy, yeah.
Okay, this is now this Indian name is gonna be a tricky one to spell or to
Okay,
pronounce. Harmanji Mickey Singh. I hope I didn't butcher his name.
yeah, I think you did fine.
Producer, songwriter, dancer, model, and actor. Oh my God.
He really is all of those things.
Oh, he's from Punjab, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Here,
wow.
like, I encourage you to like listen to a couple of his top songs because like they're really good. They're even
Sure.
if you don't understand.
I'm your typical white dude. So any exposure to Indian music and
Yeah, I
other stuff.
if you like a good like R&B or like
This guy's
just like
interesting.
hip hop, like he's definitely thrown like Punjabi in.
Bollywood. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Bollywood. We're gonna talk about that. That
Okay,
was actually on
okay,
my list to talk to you about.
okay.
Um, wow. Now I'm in this rabbit hole. So
It's a good rabbit hole to be in for
yeah.
sure.
Bollywood. Talk to me about Bollywood. What influence is that culture like to you, and what's that mean to you?
Sure. So when I was growing up, so I'll say this for like any Indian
And what
person
is
listening.
Bollywood? I'm sorry to do the
So,
beginning, but
but okay, Bollywood is like the movie industry in India. It's focused in North India mostly, but I feel like everybody in India has adopted it. But it's like the Hollywood of India. I would just say that, but it is categorized, as you probably very well know, by like it's almost like a musical. They're usually like 3 hours long each, and it has like musical numbers from start to finish. I feel like anywhere from like 5 to 10 songs throughout, maybe more sometimes actually if they're feeling super ambitious. But yeah, so Bollywood has had definitely its role in how I have grown up. I would say it's less extensive compared to some other Indian people that I, or like a lot of Indian people that I know. They've grown up with like this is playing in the background all day, all the time. For me, it was a little more occasional, but like definitely had its influence. Um, we grew up with several different types of Indian movies. There are I know everybody says that there are many dialects in India.
I'll
First
tell
of all,
you.
let me throw this out there. Indian is not a language, which I just it's like
Wait,
one of those
what? People think that Indian is a language, isn't it? Don't tell me. I know the name. Um, fuck, what's it called?
it's okay, don't worry.
One of my friends when I was in Virginia, like one of my best friends when I lived there is Indian.
So
I'm gonna give
I
up.
will.
I'm gonna give up. Go ahead.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So you're probably thinking of Hindi, right?
Yeah, I really
Okay, okay,
was. I really was.
okay.
I'm not just
So
saying that. I really was.
wait, before we go further, am I the first Indian person that you've
Add on
interviewed
the
for this?
podcast. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. So I'll just like throw like a
You
few
probably
things out there.
assumed when I asked you to tell everyone what Bollywood was, you're probably like, "Yep, this guy's never interviewed an Indian person or
I mean,
Indian
it's a
artist."
fair question. Like in case someone's like just really like they don't have context, that's very fair.
Right.
I will give
I
them
do the
that.
same. I do the same thing in like people that have like other. You know what I'm saying? Like other ones that aren't like super mainstream. Like
Yeah,
I'm
for
not saying
sure.
it's not mainstream. I'm talking about like mainstream in the States. Like
For sure.
But yeah. So that's
Anything out of the
interesting.
norm, yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, couple of things people get confused with, which are like pet peeves for Indians everywhere or South Asians in general. So Hindi is the language, Hindu is the religion. Like if you are Hindu,
Got
you
it.
follow Hinduism.
Got
But
it.
those are so often
When
they're like, "Do you speak Hindu?" And I'm
dude,
like,
when he
"Whew,
was speaking Hindi, I thought it was the greatest language of all time. Like it's just the way the dialect, the way. Can you speak some Hindi?
okay, so this brings me to the
I
other
want you.
thing. So there
I love that. It just
there
sounds
are
so cool. It just sounds so cool. Like I had no idea what the hell he's talking about, but it just the dialect was like really cool. I'm like, keep saying that, whatever it is.
right. So, there are dialects in Indian languages. However, there are like so many distinct languages in India, and each state has its own language.
Mm.
So Hindi is like the overarching language that most people I would say are at least familiar with, if not speak. I unfortunately don't speak it, which is why my music is more confusing to me that to write and to like perform and everything. I have to have help writing it because
Right,
I'm
because you
actually
want to do you want to do like inspired music, but you're not singing in Hindi.
I am singing in Hindi
Oh, I thought
sometimes.
oh, you are singing. Oh,
Sometimes, yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
I was going to say there's all these different languages, but the state that my family originates from, like so my parents were born there,
Hmm.
and I was born here, but the state that they came from is in the south. It's called Andhra Pradesh, and they don't really speak Hindi there. So they speak Telugu, and that's the language that I'm more familiar with. So the reason that I lean towards Hindi and Punjabi in my songs because I do like a mix of I do a mix of like English and Hindi Punjabi usually is what I like lean towards. The
Hmm.
reason is because it's almost like it's more mysterious to me and more romantic and more full of emotion and feeling because I don't
Hmm.
understand it fully. So I get little
this is a class in Indian culture for me, so I appreciate that.
yeah, of
I'm
course, yeah.
going back to school. I like
The little that I can contribute in that department, but
dude, curry is the bomb. So I thank Indian restaurants for that. Like
yeah,
I went to an
it's
Indian
nice.
restaurant and like that was the first time I ever had curry, and I'm telling you what.
When was that? When was your
I
first time?
had when I lived in Virginia, I got kind of it was kind of an Indian culture a little bit in like Richmond. Like you wouldn't expect it, but it was a decent amount of like Indian restaurants and
Yeah,
a lot of people got there for like IT and stuff came over, you know. But
gotcha. Yeah, there's definitely an Indian
lot of smart
population around
people, a
there.
lot of smart people.
Yikes, yes. Yeah, there's definitely actually a lot of people in Virginia in that whole in the Carolinas and whatnot. There's a lot of brown people over there. So
So
it's kind of
yeah,
cool.
so like the I had it was like curry lamb or
Okay.
something, and it was bomb.
That's awesome. Good to hear.
So I
Yeah.
like Indian food. I've always had high reviews for it.
Yeah. Awesome. And wait, when did you say was your first time?
Having Indian food, it was like
Yeah.
2012, 13.
Okay. So it's been a minute.
It's been a while, but still,
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
did
it's
you go
I
back?
think no, I moved, but I mean I did go back there when I lived. I went more than once there. you
Okay.
know, but I had to
Fair
move
enough.
back. I moved down to I live in Florida right now. But
Okay.
yeah, so I have high reviews every time people bring up Indian food. Like I'm all about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely like the
I
most
think it's
flavor packed.
underrated. I think it's underrated. Like that, like
It's underrated.
I think so. In the United States, I think it's underrated.
Okay.
That's just
Maybe
my,
it's
is
just
that a hot take? I guess that's probably a
no, I
hot
just
take.
hear I think it just depends on where you are maybe and
Mm.
like how much exposure people around you have to it because the more
Where I
exposure they
live
have.
right now, there's not much exposure to
Yeah. So
Indian
like
food.
there's a lot like in cities I want to say where like there are a lot of people so
I live
like
in
Philly,
rural
New York.
area right now, so
That would
yeah.
explain.
A lot of it's
And
German, a lot of it's German restaurant, Chinese, typical.
you said German restaurants?
Yeah. And
Oh,
then
that's
like
interesting.
yeah, like pubs and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if there's an Indian restaurant in I live in Pensacola, which is by the Alabama border. But
Okay.
I don't know if there is an Indian restaurant. I know people find this riveting. That's why power of editing. But yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. There's a couple. I'll have to try out. I'll have to try out. This is the Taste of India in Pensacola. I'll have to try that. It closes at 9 though. 30
Oh,
minutes.
bummer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
it
go
was 20 minutes
tomorrow.
ago.
Go tomorrow. Go. I can
Okay,
go.
I'm
I can
gonna
go
have to hear
tomorrow.
the report back.
Oh, you want me to go? I'll take a
Yeah, you should go
picture.
tomorrow.
I'll take a picture and put it on the Instagram and tag you.
Perfect. That would be delightful.
per per order from Sudha Sai.
Perfect.
How did I
I'll
do
live
with the name?
vicariously.
How did I do the name right there?
You reverted back, but it's okay. I accept both.
Okay, okay. Now I'm I want to talk about your song, but now I'm in this Indian restaurant
Look at
rabbit
you
hole.
now. You have to look up Mickey sing songs.
I'm jumping from rabbit hole to rabbit hole.
I know, but now you have your whole search history. You can
Yo,
go
this
back
is good.
tomorrow.
Yeah. So the first actually, you know what? Before I even dive in, you have one of the most interesting I went on your YouTube channel
Hmm.
and you have one of the most interesting YouTube bios slash quotes.
What did I write? I even forgot.
You know what I'm gonna say? It's one of the greatest things I've ever read on a YouTube
What? Get
bio.
out. I don't even remember what I wrote. What did I
Jo-
write?
Join me as I add South Asian fusion and peanut butter into just about everything. That is that is so good. That is
It's so
so good.
unfortunate that I can't include like the peanut butter edition on my YouTube actually. So I guess that's kind of a lie.
Isn't that fantastic? I mean, obviously you're gonna think it's fantastic. You wrote it, but this this is
I really
fantastic.
forgot. I really forgot that I wrote that. That's so funny, but it actually describes me so perfectly.
Yeah, but it's just like one singular sentence, so it stands out. Like if you go to your YouTube,
Uh-huh.
like there's no link. It's just that it's just like your name, and then it has that like one sentence,
My
and then it
YouTube is
has
very, very bare bones to begin with.
yeah, so it
I've
sticks
just like,
out. So I'm like, oh wow, that's an interesting sentence. I
I'm
like
glad you
it.
enjoyed that. Are you a peanut butter
What kind of
fan?
yeah, I was gonna ask you, are you crunchy or smooth
I am, I'll
creamy?
take I'll take anything as long as it's like 100%
Are you one
natural.
of those people that like straight up like eats peanut butter out of the
Yes.
thing?
Yes. Yes. I like
Just
literally
like
can't not.
are you talking about like Peter Pan, like Jiffy, just like
Oh,
out of
no, no,
those?
no. It's got to be totally natural, or I won't touch
Peter
it.
Pan is natural, isn't it? Peter
It's not.
Pan peanut butter natural.
It's not. If they tell you that, they're lying.
I was being facetious, but
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
he totally bit that.
I
But
was like,
no.
no, defending my natural peanut butter. Don't you dare.
So my I have two brothers. My middle brother, he's like super into like popcorn. Like he eats popcorn every time of the day.
Okay.
He also is a big bacon person, and I like weird foods. So, but peanut butter is not really weird. But I mean, how much peanut butter are we talking about? Are we talking about like how much peanut butter do you eat?
If it's a question of do I eat, it's almost none because I literally can't buy it. I can't keep it in the house because it disappears too fast.
That's like me and milk.
So,
That's like me and milk.
really?
I love milk.
You'll just like drink it straight up?
No, like whole milk, yeah. Like straight
You
out of
just drink
the
it.
cow, just straight out of the cow. Yeah, like whole milk.
Straight out of the cow. Like sitting there drinking it out
Like
of the cow.
everyone's like doing like like lactose, and everyone's all particular about milk nowadays.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Me it's just whole milk, just drink it out of the gallon. Is
Wow.
that how you are with like with peanut butter?
Yeah, with peanut butter. I would, and so I can't buy it anymore because it's just not it's not healthy. Like I can't rein myself in,
What
so
about
I just can't
popcorn?
buy it. Popcorn?
Yeah,
I'm not really a popcorn fan.
I know
Why
random
did he
question.
like are you gonna say your brother put peanut butter and bacon in popcorn?
Well, no, his birthday gift was like his now wife, fiance got him
Uh-huh.
like 3 pounds of bacon for like Christmas or birthday or something.
What a strange gift.
That was literally his birthday gift was bacon.
Was he happy with that?
Yeah. Oh, he loves bacon. He eats bacon all the time, no matter what. He is like a bacon fetish.
Oh, that sounds great. Well, then that was a good present.
It's like
I was like, was he disappointed? Did he want
no,
something
no, no.
else?
I don't know how we started talking about bacon fetishes. I'm sorry.
That's definitely a unique conversation topic.
All right, first last time. Now
Okay.
that's a I assume that's a breakup song
Yeah.
because is it the like the first like last time? So basically what you're saying is can I guess the meaning? So
Sure.
basically
Yeah.
it's you want to end it but you know it's not going to be like you want to end it but you know that you're going to get tempted to keep it going but you're trying.
You're very, very close. Very close.
It's like an attempt to end it but you know that the attempt's going to be futile.
So
Like
you almost got it. So it's that, except I just didn't know the second part. So it's like an attempt to end it, but you think it's super final, but then it ends up not being. So you think it's the last time until time goes on and you find out it was the first last time of many. You know what I mean? Like every time you think it's the last time and it ends up not being the last time.
because okay, because you keep getting back together.
Yeah,
You can't
basically.
it's hard to resist the
Yeah,
tension.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I got it. I got
And I
it.
know I'm not alone, so no, like no shame in it or
Oh,
anything, but like
is this a personal experience? Is that you wrote the
I
song
mean,
off
yeah.
your
Yeah.
own personal experience? Talk
Yeah.
how long did it take to write that song? Was it something because it's 1.5 thousand views on YouTube? That's
Is that
impressive.
for that's for the
For the
official music
video.
video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool.
How'd you get so like that's
I
pretty
don't
damn
know.
good.
It happened really fast. I kind of wonder if it's like bots took over or something. Like I really wonder,
Well,
but
that's how I found you was I went on Instagram and I saw you did like a reel with the song or something.
mhm.
Yeah, and I heard it
I
and I was
did
like,
I did promote it on
yeah, it was
Instagram.
like sponsored or something and then I was
Yeah.
scrolling down and then I heard it and I'm like I got to get that chick on the show.
That's
So
awesome. I appreciate that so much. Cause like when you hear something just come up on your reels and if it doesn't catch you, like that sucks. Like what's the point of promotion? So that's I'm really glad that that worked. Like it was
you think
catchy.
you're being humble like the bots. No, the bots didn't get it. It's a great song. You know, you got to think
I hope so. It's I think I'm not sure, but actually yeah, I'm really not sure because I didn't like go on YouTube and check like daily or anything. So I don't know if it like appeared all at once or
But
not,
did
you
you
know?
promote it out though? Did you send the link out to
Not
people?
Yeah, to my friends and stuff, but I didn't promote on YouTube. I just promoted for
So
like 2 weeks on
you don't know how it got so many?
I have no idea. And I only promoted on Instagram for like 2 weeks.
Well,
So
maybe it's
I've
because
been
it's really good and you know, people
hey, I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. My mom's like my my mom doesn't really like
I'll
know too
edit the
much about
part
the
that
stuff.
you're I'll edit the you don't know how it got there part, you know? I'll
Well, I
edit that
mean,
out. I'll edit
okay,
that out.
you can do either way because if people think I'm humble, that's cool too. But I mean, I try. I don't know. I try to be real. But yeah, my mom was like, "No, it's not bots." So she was like 100% like,
Well,
"No, no,
I
no."
like real people. I don't like fake people, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly.
There's too many fake people in the world, you know? I know that's not a hot take. That's true.
It is kind
Um
of true. And I hope like that's one of the things like when I start posting more often on Instagram and whatnot, I just feel like I don't want to look like one of the fake people. I was like I really am. I'm struggling to make use of my time every day in an efficient way and like trying to get a little something out there to like make people think of me, hopefully, in a positive light.
Do you go
Maybe.
to have you played at bars or anything? Any of the
Yeah.
like
So yeah, in
where do you
Philly,
play at?
I started out in Philly. I started at this place called McGillin's. It's an Irish pub, and they had an open mic night. I didn't even know it was an open mic. My friend was just like, "You want to go
And then
upstairs?"
they were
And
like, "Oh, she's
yeah,
good." Someone was
I
like,
was
"Oh,
like,
she's good."
yeah, I was like dead last in the night because I didn't even know it was an open mic, and I signed up last minute. And somebody told me afterwards because I had forgotten that this even happened. They were like, you were nervous to go up, and so you were like, let me take two shots real quick before I go up. And I don't even remember like, yeah, right.
So,
I
this
was
is
like,
my blur. I got the blurred screen, but I drink whiskey.
I see.
Yeah.
Um,
What's
yeah.
your drink? What's your drink of choice?
Oh, so it used to be I used to have rum and Diet Coke like religiously, and then I found that like having the sweetness in it, even if it was fake sugar, it just made me feel worse the next day. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do vodka soda with lime. So just like straight like vodka
So
in like
if you
nothing.
wanna like get people like really drunk and it's an easy shot, have
Uh-huh.
you ever heard of Rumplemans?
I have not.
It's a dangerous drink. It's dangerous.
Okay. Okay. What is it?
It's like a mint liqueur that's easy to drink and really high potency. So that's a bad
Oh,
combo.
that's like the actual liquor's name,
It's Rumplemans, like mint but
Rumbleman.
with a Z.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's like a mint liqueur,
I
and
see.
it's basically like alcoholic mouthwash.
Ugh, that
And
sounds
but no but no, it goes down like really, it's like really good.
okay.
It's
Does
like
it taste like peppermint schnapps?
it's
Because
like
that,
yeah, it's pretty much what it is.
ooh, I
And
a
it's
bad
peppermint,
experience.
it's peppermint schnapps, yeah.
Okay, okay.
But it's like easy to go down and it's like really fucking dangerous. Like I had like so I did stand up and to get like my nerves kind of
Mm-hmm.
under control. People were they bought me a couple shots of Rumplemans and like
Uh-huh.
I was like really fucked up. I couldn't even like get through my
Do you
routine.
set? Oh my gosh.
I was like looking at my notes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like what did I say? What did I was that Donald Trump joke? What is it?
Oh my God.
I couldn't even read my own jokes.
Oh my God. You were you like seeing cross-eyed and whatnot?
Yeah, that was like peak where everyone was doing like fake like Donald Trump jokes, That was like peak.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I couldn't even like read my fucking jokes. It was funny.
Oh my God.
So what's it about the Philly scene that you like about it so much? Like, is it just chill? Like the people are chill and like they're because it's got to be the point where if you go, let's say, well, you did say that you signed up last minute. Can you tell there's a point where it's like people like are little like questioning whether the person has talent, but then they realize they do? And can you tell that moment where it's like, oh, this person's good, and then there's like a different attention?
Yeah, actually
It's
it's so
like,
funny. I think I noticed it in I had just moved to Philly not that long ago at that point, and it was more so the people that I had come with, like my new friends. It was when they kind of like perked up and turned around that I was like, "Oh, like I guess they
yeah,
like it. It's good."
it's like an episode from The Voice, or like
Yeah, right?
or
Where it's
like
like
the
a surprise.
America's Got or like America's Got Talent. It's
Yeah,
like where
yeah. I had that moment for sure. Like a couple people. And I just noticed like people get quiet when I sing
right, because they're
sometimes,
like,
which is
are they good or not? And then they become good, and then they're like, oh,
yeah. And McGillin's is like a really loud bar to begin with. So if it gets even a little bit quieter, you notice because otherwise
Mm,
everyone's just like super loud. So that was cool. I remember one of my friends who had come with us that I had just met that night. He was like back at the bar
mm.
and like that's all the way across the room. And the second I started, he like grabbed his drink and like came all the way to the front table and was sitting like this and like didn't move a muscle till I was done.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, like that's such a nice feeling.
How's
So,
the how's the like the social scene there? Like, you meet a lot of friends that are also singers. Like, how's the group of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there a group
yeah,
of y'all that you go to the same places or whatever?
so not singers necessarily, but it's just interesting in the last year or so, there has there has been this like surge of um dancers, like Indian dancers who have like been coming out of the woodwork and like hosting little workshops, which is just really amazing. There are some like core people who started it, and now like a bunch of other people have joined in, and now there's a whole community with it. So a lot of times when I perform, even though I'm singing, like I'll go to the dance ones too, but like when I'm singing, I'll like throw out my invite, and like a bunch of the dance scene will come out too to support. So I've been really like that's been such a cool thing because that's how like a lot of us have met and become friends. So it's been really satisfying to watch that scene grow.
So what's the goal here? Because is this like your do you have an like do you have another job? So is
Yeah.
the goal to make this like a full-time job? Like, what's the goal here?
Oh,
Talk to me about 5 years.
5 year.
Dude,
Oh, 5 years from
yeah, five
now.
years.
Yeah, this is interesting to actually delve into because I don't think I've ever even like said this out loud before to myself because I'm not sure. I mean, I sort of said it to myself, but I feel like if I achieve certain goals,
Mhm.
which I can like I'll specify them, but like if I achieve certain goals, then I'll feel fulfilled. I'll feel like, all right, if I don't become a full-time singer, that's totally fine. Um, Ideally, I'd want to do this like it's so hard to say. Like the way that it is right now is really great because it allows me the freedom. So it allows me the freedom by having the two jobs and things going a little bit slower in the music
Mhm.
front. It still allows me to do everything with integrity. So if I want to like write a song to my specification, I can do that. I don't ever have to take on gigs I don't want to take on because I have another job. So that has been really, really helpful to me. There
So
were up
is the goal to go full time, get a label, all that? Is that the goal here, or is that not, if you don't do that, are you okay with that?
I think I'll be okay to not do that if that's I'm really open to the universe taking me where I need to go. I think that's the real answer. I'm like I'm all ears. I'm listening at all times. But if I don't go that route, I think I'll be fine as long as I keep going on the side and like doing things with integrity up to my liking, up to my standard because I really don't want to compromise. And as long as I'm growing and making it better every time and like actually
Mhm.
pushing myself to do something new or better every single time I either put out a song or do a show or anything like that, I'll be satisfied. But if it's going to be like cuz the thing I think that I don't like is compromising in music and
Right,
doing gigs and stuff that
labels they want full control.
yeah, so maybe now that you're saying that, I'm like, well,
Oh,
maybe that's not my
I don't
avenue.
want to
No, but like again, as I'm
I
saying, the
don't want to
universe.
deter you from the dream,
No,
you
not at
know?
all. I don't. I mean, maybe you're just showing me it isn't the dream. I don't know. Like that's why I'm like I'm all ears. I'm always listening, and whatever's right will happen. I have zero doubts about
But
that.
you wouldn't complain if you did make it, if you did start getting like more and more of a following. I don't think you'd complain either way.
I wouldn't complain. No. Yeah, that choice
Like,
would be an interesting one. If I were to ever have to say, okay, am I like jumping off the cliff now, and am
yeah,
I gonna
like if
make that
someone
decision?
heard
That'd
you
be
and said, "Hey, would you want to be artist on my label?" Would you I know, based on just talking to
Whew.
you for I don't know 30 minutes now, I know you would smooth over that contract with the comb.
Yeah, I probably would.
Read every
Definitely.
word.
Definitely. It is a big
You
risk.
strike me as analytical.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I'm not
That's not a
I'm
bad
not jumping
thing.
off the
I'm not
wrong
saying that's a
cliff.
bad thing.
Yeah, I'm not
I
taking it
like
that way.
I
Yeah.
like analytical people because that means you're not dumb. It means you're thinking about things. Like
You have
part of the
to consider
problem,
your
like
future.
yeah, like part of the sometimes people. I've ran into that a few times interviewing people, and they'll be okay with me saying this, that they didn't look over the contract and then they got screwed later. You know.
Yeah. I mean, there's sometimes that I don't look closely enough and I'm like, all right, it's time to leap and do something. Like,
Yeah, but some of these labels get sort of, sometimes these labels get like, they go for life rights. You know what life rights are, right?
yeah. Yep.
So
Yeah, that's a scary thing.
they'll they'll hide it in.
Yeah. And of course they'll target people who don't know what's up. And there's a very easy way. There are many ways to see who is new and who's not, you know?
Mm.
So yeah, definitely. Like I would definitely look through it carefully.
So I was gonna ask you, do you have any fun stories? But you've shared a couple already.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure, for
do you
sure.
have do you go in the night? Are you part of like the nightlife scene? Do you go out to a lot of the, like, what do you do for fun in Philly? I want
So
to know. I've never been, so I want to know.
yeah, there's some cool places to go. I feel like there are I'm really like I love house music. I love EDM when I go
Oh,
out.
really? We could talk. I'm a big EDM guy. Oh,
Okay,
we could
okay.
talk. We could talk EDM. That'd be
I
fun.
mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie and say that I know a lot about it,
I
but
was so
I
pissed.
love it when I listen to it.
I was gonna see San Holo. You may know who that is, EDM person.
No, actually.
Google. You should, if you have your phone, you should Google him.
Wait,
I
spell it for me?
googled Mickey. San Holo.
Uh-huh.
SANHOLO.
Gotcha. A Dutch DJ and musician.
Yo, he's legit. Just,
Okay.
yeah,
Wait.
he's like,
All
he's
right,
at
so
it.
you're more
He's
into the
like sick.
scene.
He's like,
Should I like should I know like should I have already known who he was?
probably.
Okay. I mean,
He's like a million.
I'm
He's got
used to
like
this.
he's got like, yeah, you probably should.
I also wonder if I've already heard him and I didn't even
Yeah, you probably
know that
have.
that's who it was.
Yeah, probably. I'll just, he's got like, yeah, he's got, actually, he's a little, I thought he had a million followers on Instagram. He has like 482,000. Just that.
Oh, oh. Okay. Well,
But yeah,
that's crazy.
I was so pissed. I got COVID and I had to miss his concert. I
No,
was
where
so
was he
pissed.
playing?
Pizzical at
Where's
the local, at a
okay.
local festival, like outdoor festival. I was so pissed.
Oh. Well, are you gonna
Yeah.
catch him again? Is he coming around?
He's probably, no, he's not probably
No.
gonna come back around for a while.
Well, like,
It was one of
wait,
his
how long?
smaller. It was one of his smaller venues.
Gotcha. Um, would he like probably come back to like Miami or something?
I
How
mean,
far are you
probably.
from, are you
Oh,
far from
I'm
my,
pretty far. Yeah, I'm pretty far from. I'm more close to New Orleans,
okay. Oh, okay.
like where
Yeah.
Florida meets Alabama and Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like Miami's on the. I'm on the pan. They call it the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Miami's at the very bottom.
You're like super
But yeah,
inland.
yeah. I'm like
I
near.
got
I'm
you.
basically Alabama,
I got
like right
you.
on the border. But I'm
I
from
can kind of hear like,
I'm from Orlando. What?
oh, you are. Okay. I was gonna say I was just in Orlando not that long ago, like a couple
Really?
weeks ago.
That's where I grew up. I grew up in
Oh,
Orlando
cool.
area. Yeah.
Very nice.
So yeah, I went to college down there, and I went to UCF college in Orlando, and like that scene was like nuts.
So you've been in
The
Florida
party
like most of
scene,
your life.
yeah, yeah. Except for like I went to Virginia for like 2 or 3 years, and then I got laid off, and back I went, you know.
Yeah. What did you used to do?
So I like how you're interviewing me now. I like that.
I actually thought about that as I was doing that.
No, no, no. You're the one of the first ones to do that. Usually people don't ask me
It's a
questions.
conversation, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't get that very often, so I appreciate that.
yeah, of course.
So yeah, so I was in sales. I have an interesting like job background. So right now I'm in social work.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I know that's a big jump from sales.
Right.
So I did inside sales, but I've also been a substitute teacher. I've jumped all over. I've done some like jumping over. So I have some
Wow.
sales background. But a substitute teacher, you're not a real teacher. I'm a sub. Like,
I mean,
so,
you still
so,
have to like manage a classroom, which is
but I
a
subbed
challenge.
during the pandemic. So it was like, here's a mask. Thanks for risking your life.
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh.
it was
That must
like,
have been so
it was
frustrating.
wild. Like they would give you a mask and they would say, hey, here's a mask. Thanks for risking your life for $100 a day.
Barf. This is what's wrong with the school system. But anyway,
And a
that
hundred
that's that is a rabbit hole.
and a hundred is being generous. Sometimes it was like $90 a day.
Oh my God.
And
That's
but
insane.
then that was the age where like half the kids wouldn't be there, and there was
Yeah.
no excuse absences because they were cool, pandemic. So if you don't go,
Yeah.
you don't go, So I'd be
Yeah.
subbing in like with a class of like 10 people. Oh, we're already this interview is all rabbit hole, Suda. This
It's
interview's
like
turned
a
all rabbit hole.
ADHD conversation, which is great.
I love it. No, I love it. This turned way different than I thought. Not a bad thing. It just is what it is. But no, I did I was there for sales. I walked in. I got handed my severance package right when I walked in. I don't want the violin or or the swan, the people feel bad.
What?
That happens everywhere. It's sad, but it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I felt weird because I knew it was coming kind of because I'm not a dumbass. And like a day before, my coworker coincidentally left the room to talk. It's like, oh, okay. Like I know it's coming. And then he asked me to how to do my job. And then it's like, of course it's coming. Like
Mm.
somebody's leaving to talk to my boss, plus they're asking me how to do my job.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew it was coming.
Mm. I see what you're saying.
Like it was pretty obvious. It's like,
Yeah.
all right,
Mental prep time in that case is very important, right? Like you know it's coming, so
I
you
know it's
you
coming.
won't be shocked when it comes, so then you can
Right.
like compose yourself.
Right. So when I walked in, I
Yeah.
was like, all right, all right, here it is,
Yeah.
I had to play surprised. Oh, really?
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
Oh my
I was
God.
just mad because of the package, 401k package and stuff,
Yeah, I feel for
It's
you.
it's whatever, man. I got over that, but
Do
it's
you like social work now?
yeah. I like social work. It's cool. But what do you do?
I'm a pharmacist.
Pharmacist.
Yeah, which is why my
Speaking of smart people, you know,
well, whatever.
I
I'm humble
couldn't I
about that too.
couldn't I couldn't be a pharmacist. I would get lost. All those different pronunciations and
That's on Sudie,
what's a controlled substance, what's not a controlled substance, what needs a
right?
signature. That's the hard stuff, right? Is what
Right.
needs a signature, what doesn't,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly. But
How much can you sell per thing?
but it helps my Instagram name though, because it's so pertinent. It's
But a
Sudafed.
lot of it's probably the hassle is probably the insurance part. People
That
getting
that's just yeah, it does make us run around in circles a little bit.
and then all the good
Definitely.
RX coupons and
Oh, you know all your pharmacist stuff. Oh, because like through
I'm a
social work, you probably help people with that
yeah,
exact thing.
that's what
Yeah.
yeah.
It's it's funny because like if you're in social
Yeah,
work in a
yeah, I
hospital or
do that.
something, like
I help send
you do
people good RX coupons.
yeah. I feel like when I worked at like when I worked in retail, I feel like people's social workers like didn't really directly help them with that
And
in
needy meds. And what's the
needy
other one?
meds.
What's the other one?
Which other one?
There's good RX, there's needy meds, and there's one other one that's a pretty big one.
I haven't heard the word
Anyways,
needy meds in
I don't
so
want to.
long.
We're already boring people, at least by me, my subject matter. You know, I'm
No,
already
mine
boring
too. Done mine
people.
too.
I'm already boring people, not you.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's okay.
so what's the next song you got coming out, and how long you been? When did that song come out?
First last time
Last time, yeah.
we literally hit, I say we, I don't know why, it's just
No,
me.
do you have a team?
Uh
That's a good question. You set me up.
the
Do you have people that help
I
you, or
I actually
is
do
this
not.
solo? Is
So
this
it's a
solo?
solo thing. Yeah. Well, so for I would like to throw out a shout out for first last time it was yes, me as a singer, and I kind of like drove the project a little bit, but like
Mm,
but it was a pretty equal effort between me and the producer because the producer helped me write it as well because he speaks Punjabi. So he helped me write the Punjabi lyrics for it. He like created the background for it, like
Punjabi,
all the
yeah.
beat. Um, so that was like a very equal effort, except like when it came to marketing and stuff, like I definitely 100% took over and like made the video, all this stuff. So I don't have a manager. I've been told many times I should get one because I'm always trying to split my time and it's just very hard, but I've been doing a good job, I think, so far within my capacity. and within how much brain power that I have. So like I've been managing, but
Hey, if I ever want to speak Punjabi, would you teach me?
if I knew it, I would teach you. I don't know it.
You don't know Punjabi, but you could
Mm,
teach me. You could teach me. Was it Hindu? You could teach me that, right?
you are failing today. Oh my gosh. I'm kidding. It's all right. So Hindi is the language. Hindu is a
Hindi,
religion.
Hindi, Hindi,
Yeah, there you go.
Hindi, Hindi.
I cannot teach you Hindi because I don't know it either. I
I
know the
can I
one.
can edit that part out. You know, that's the power of editing.
There you go.
I can edit Hindu out.
I
No, I
only
like
know
Hindu. I meant like, yeah, I'm making it worse. I'm just digging my own grave.
it's okay. You do have editing powers, so I will give you full credit for that. No, the only language that I know is Telugu. So if you wanted to know that, I could
You
probably
could
tell
teach
you
me
how to say
that,
something. Yeah.
or you could just send me a bunch of links on Instagram. Like
That
here,
would be
self teach.
right. YouTube links and
You
stuff.
teach
Yeah.
yeah, you teach yourself, man.
Yeah.
I'm too busy making music and do
Being
you
Mhm.
do you do you get a lot of like people reviewing like telling you like giving you compliments about your music and stuff, and how's the reception been with like friends and family and stuff?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. So, it's cool that I think it's hard to know if my family's actually been like, what are you doing? Like all of a sudden, what is
What are you
this?
doing with your life?
Yeah, like after
Like, aren't you
after
supposed to be counting medicine bottles?
right. They're like, you've been a pharmacist for 8, 9 years, whatever, whenever I started doing this more. And they were definitely a little surprised, I think, that I've been pushing
When
a
did
lot.
you
They were like,
start? When did you start again? What year did you start?
I like started pushing music.
Yeah, like
I
really
started
start the account
honestly,
last year or something.
it was 2023, yeah, last year. Like I want to say I started
So you're
ideating
new,
everything
new.
in
You're
January.
new, new.
Yeah, like I posted stuff before that, but it was so infrequent, and it was really just like I wanted to, but I would never make the time. And it would just be like, oh, well, now I gotta do laundry.
Well,
So now it's
hopefully after
bedtime.
this interview, you'll be getting more, you know?
That would
Hopefully.
be really cool. I would like to reach an audience who like hasn't heard this stuff before because I think they really like it because
Yeah,
it's fun. It's a bop.
yeah.
But yeah, the family was confused for a while, but I think after I just became like it made me really unconfident for a while. But and I kept
Hmm.
like fighting with them about it and like trying to defend myself. But then I realized I was like, this is what I want to do on the side at least. Like I know what I'm going for, so I don't have to explain it to everyone. I'll just do it. I'll just keep doing it. And I think maybe it's just me being critical to myself.
Mm.
And maybe thinking my family was being you know how like when you're looking at yourself harshly, you think everyone else is looking at you, but really no one gives a fuck.
So are
No
you
one cares.
wanting, yeah, so are you wanting to do like a tour, like go around and go to different places in Philly and play, or is this kind of just like a go to like what you know is comfortable?
So definitely not the latter because I want to expand whatever I'm doing. I feel like it won't be a concentrated tour like back to back to back anything. Like it won't be a lot of traveling because I do have to work in person. But I think what I'll end up doing if I can get a couple of shows that really align with me in Philly or New York or DC, those are and
But
Jersey, those are the main
mhm.
places I go.
You do pretty good
Um,
with pharmacists make good money, so you'd have to really freaking like expand this to make it worth not being a pharmacist anymore.
yeah, I don't think it's like
Yeah,
I don't
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
I don't think it's on that level, but
It could
the
be. It could be. Let's not undersell. You're really
right,
good.
right.
You're really good. I'm serious. You're
Thank
really
you. I
good. You're
appreciate it.
talented. So you never know.
You know, it's
You
really
never
funny.
know.
You were asking about reception, and I'm cracking up because the last little bit of what I wanted to say on that was I was like, yeah, family and friends are like they love it, but it's so hilarious to me when I get these like I'll get like occasionally, it's not very often. I'll get like a DM that'll be like, "Hey, you're really good, but I have some pointers for you." And it'll be like someone who's not a singer, not a musician. They're like, "I've listened to a lot of music, but and this is how." I'm just like, "This is so funny to me right now." I've gotten a couple of those, and I'm just like, I used to like engage with those a little bit, and now I'm like, "Yeah, I don't need I
Just
don't need
block them, you
it's
know?
just funny, but like, yeah, they don't usually like pursue it beyond that. But I just find it so funny. I'm like, what? Why? However, I will say one person once reached out and they were really nice about it. And they were like, "Hey, you just posted a cover of this like Indian song," and they were like, this is the part where I'm like, shit, I really don't know Hindi, and it like can bite me in the ass. They were like, "Hey, you said this word wrong," and I was like, "Oh." Actually, like normally I'd be like, ah, shit. Like I'd probably just like maybe put a little comment in there being like, oops, I did that wrong. But
Mhm.
I legitimately went back and re-recorded the whole thing because that word was repeated like 35 times in that cover. And I was like,
Mhm.
that's so embarrassing. So I had to delete it. But I was like, all right, that was the one time someone had a criticism that I was like, oh, thank God. Thank you for saying that because I had no idea.
So how
So
often are you singing?
like
Like
shows and
going out,
stuff.
yeah, like shows and stuff. Like
Um
when's your next show?
Yeah, I have one on October 10th. It's at this place called Sweeney's. It's about I want to say like 25 minutes away from Center City, Philly. So a little northeast, but it's a cool venue. I haven't been there, but a friend of mine has and has played in a show there, and they host bands like often, so they're very prepped and ready to go in terms of live music. So I'm really excited to do this one because it's actually like one of my first serious, like I'm on a lineup, this is a real show, instead of like, because I've done some recently this year where I organized it myself, but it was at like a chai shop or it was at a plant shop, and I would kind of turn it into a venue and bring my own
Mhm.
stuff and like that kind of thing, which was really satisfying to me. But this is kind of different because it's like, oh yeah, like they're calling musicians in for this, and this is like legit a venue. So I'm taking it a little more seriously, um and treating it like really like important, like
Right.
it's gonna be cool. And then I'm doing another one at a farmer's market that I'm kind of just like doing to reach a new audience, I think. And it's like a
Mhm.
cool, like it's a nice like friendly space, so I'll do that. What I've basically been doing is just new places that, yeah, like I'm just trying to expand and grow. So in terms of like the types of music that I'll do or the type of audience that I'll reach, or but it's not all at random because I'm really trying to find which places will be like worth it to me in terms of growth, because I have limited time. So I
Right.
can't do everything.
So you have like weekends and then after work.
Yeah, but after work is like at 7:30.
That's crazy.
But I also lift after the gym a bunch of
Oh
days
yeah,
of the
you
week.
lift?
Yeah,
That's
like that's
cool.
where I was right before this. So like I would have said, yeah, I can talk to you at 7:30, but like no, I had to do 9 because commitment to self, I gotta do it. So
No, I hear you. Are you like into CrossFit and stuff?
not really. I just lift on my own.
Like
Just like
CrossFit's its own little culture. It's crazy.
it is. They're
My brother's
intense.
my brother's a trainer. We have like three opposite occupations. I have two other brothers, and all three of us
Uh-huh.
have different way different occupations. It's
Uh-huh.
funny. But yeah, he's CrossFit trainer. So I got a
Oh,
glimpse
he's a
into the
trainer.
he was, yeah, now he's in real estate. He made a weird jump. That's like a crazy jump.
You guys are all making crazy jumps.
Yo, and then and then my oldest brother is a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
So you have a social worker, a real estate agent, and a lawyer.
I mean, I see how a lot of those things can like help each other out for sure.
What? How are they
And
related? They're not
well, I
related.
feel like real estate law is like a big, well, it depends on what kind of lawyer he is, but like law is helpful in
I think it's
everywhere.
like criminal, you know.
Oh, damn. Okay, maybe not so related anymore. But I was like, real estate law, that could be
You're like,
useful.
I don't even know. I don't really talk to him that much. That sounds really bad. But
Yes.
he's all the way in Washington State across the country. So
Yeah. Oh,
I don't really talk. I call him on his birthday and that's pretty much it. But we're cool.
oh.
It's just, we just got our
Life gets
own,
busy.
yeah, we just
Who
got our
has
own
time
thing.
for like a bunch of conversations on the phone? Because then you'll never,
All the way in Washington. Like,
yeah. But maybe call him once a month.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
got his own family and everything.
Yeah.
I try to, we're not really like a big talking kind of family, you know. I,
Yeah.
I'm, I talk to my brother, like he lives like my brother that lives here, he lives about 20 minutes away and we talk maybe once a month and he's 20 minutes away. So we're not,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's got their own lives, you know. People are
Mhm.
doing what they, got to pay the bills.
Yeah,
I know you
exactly.
know about that, paying
I
bills.
definitely know.
So is it expensive? Is it expensive no doing this music thing?
Yes, it totally is. It is very expensive without a label,
Because
and
I know how it is for being this podcast. This podcast, running a podcast is expensive. So I
yeah,
get it. I get it.
yeah.
But you have all the equipment you're paying for, and
Yeah. I mean, yeah, at least that's like a one-time investment, but the main thing is services because I have to realize like I'm not a producer. I can't mix master my own music. And I can't make my own video. I can't edit my own video. And by can't, I don't mean can't like I can't learn. Like, yes, I can, but you have to make a decision on what you have to spend your time on. And even as is right now, when I outsource for making the video, editing music, for even writing little parts of like to help me write little parts of the music. Like if it's in Punjabi, I'm gonna have to take some help. And that kind of stuff. Yeah, it all takes money, but at the end of the day, like I even though I outsource all that stuff, I still don't have time to sing. Like I'm making my own dumb reels that I have to post, and then I was trying to make TikToks, and I was like, this is so much work. And
are
and
you
I
are you
Mhm.
pro TikTok?
I have never scrolled through a single reel on TikTok. It does not know what I like, and that's great. I promised myself if I ever get TikTok, which I did, I will only post and get off. I will never scroll, and I have stuck with it, but I just never really go on there. I don't love the interface, but it's more so I was gonna see if I could grow a following because I heard musicians can grow following like more
Yeah,
easily
yeah.
there.
I'm very
I haven't
um
really experienced that.
I've had artists that, yeah, that's how they've gotten following, is through like online and like Twitch.
But
Twitch is a bigger one too.
for musicians,
Yeah.
okay.
I know, I was surprised too. One of the artists I think I'm releasing her interview um soon, like in a week or so, and she's exclusively basically on Twitch.
Oh,
I
wow.
thought that was like wild. She's getting like thousands of views, and there's so many ways, was it so many ways to skin a cat? I think that's
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's what they
lingo or
say.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's like an outdated term, but it's true.
Yeah, it
But
is.
so yeah, so I interviewed one person that's exclusively basically on Twitch, and then I interviewed like the next day somebody that's doing the Nashville grind, like every day's a different bar. So it's interesting how they're
Wow.
both getting the same amount of viewership, just two different methods.
Yeah.
It's amazing
Yeah.
how it works.
Yeah. I mean,
So
as long as you just keep
could
doing
you
it.
so you
Mhm.
were talking about, could you see yourself ever, I know ever's a strong word, but
Mm.
doing the tour dates like all the time,
I don't know about all the time. The other thing is I feel like I would get tired of it.
burned out?
Yeah. I that's the problem with making your passion your job is that you will probably like you just rely on it too much, so you'll probably burn out. And I would much rather do a slow burn and just love it forever because I really have such a love relationship with it right now, and I
Mm.
don't want to lose that, and I'm
Right
okay.
when you said slow burn, it reminded me of the Usher song. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
It made me
absolutely.
it made me think of the Usher song. That's funny. All right, so where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, so social media, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok, I believe is the same name. It's Sudafed, S-U-D. Make sure, don't forget the H, Sudhafed. It's like the drug, but also my name. And I don't know,
Yeah.
that clever,
Is
but
that a pharmacist joke? Is that what
yeah,
that is?
yeah. Because I started out on Instagram like not
I
really
love how
about music.
pharmacist is in your Instagram bio.
Yeah.
That is
I feel like I
that is
have to
so
say that.
fantastic. You have a good sense of humor. I like
Oh,
your
thank
sense
you,
of
thank
humor.
you. I also put pharmacist in my bio because I wanted people to
That's so
know I'm
great.
not
That's
full
so
time.
great.
Yeah. I wanted two things. I wanted them to get my pun for my name, and also I wanted them to know that I'm not full-time musician because I would expect a lot more out of me if I were a full-time musician. So that I wanted to like throw out there. But YouTube you can look up Sudha Sai singer, I think. I'm like I don't even know what I'm doing. So or Sudha Sai musician. Anyway, search First Last Time by Sudha Sai, Sudhasai, or Sudha Sai, which is what do I say, whatever, on YouTube. So Spotify also is Sudha Sai, Sudhasai, 2 separate words. But
That
and you had asked me if there's like more music coming out. There's a whole other video and song that are just like lined up and ready to go. However, I'm deciding if I'm going to release that one next or another little project that came up suddenly. So, but either way, within about 2 months, there should be something out there.
so in 5 years, actually, I already asked that, but I was gonna add on to it. But so, do you ever see yourself possibly being a full-time artist?
I don't know. Never say never, but it's not I'm not driving towards it right now. The way that people drive towards a certain career goal or whatever, like I'm not driving towards it.
Gotcha, gotcha.
If it
All right,
happens, it happens.
yeah. That TikTok was funny you did when you were saying your name to Siri. That shit was
Oh
hilarious.
my God, yes.
I saw that.
Thank you for like doing your homework on that and
Well, I
watching my
mean,
stuff. I
I
appreciate
saw
it.
we're Instagram friends, I think.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
So you posted it on Instagram.
Yeah.
and,
My
and
mom
I,
thought that was
and I
hilarious
saw
too, and I was
that
like, yeah.
shit's hilarious. I
She
was laughing.
would
I
not
was I
get
was
it.
I was laughing my ass off for a full minute. Just
I
thinking like
appreciate
that
that.
that was hilarious.
The one
And
that kept coming up like
your reactions were like gold in that. That
I
was
had to
funny.
cut out some of the funny ones because I was like, there's only a minute and a half. That's one thing about TikTok, they'll let you have a longer video. Instagram does not let you do that. But
Gotcha.
anyway, when my mom said she cracked up at that one, I was like, all right, I win. Because like when she says something's funny to her, I'm like, yes, I'm winning.
Oh, she has that sense of humor where it's like if she reacts if it's super funny, you'll know if it's like legit funny.
Yeah, I guess like I always feel like
She
she
has
might be
a
a
high
tough
bar.
critic.
She
Yeah,
has a
yeah,
high
yeah,
bar.
yeah. And sometimes people like sometimes she doesn't get it. And I'm like, if you don't
Mm,
get it, then like other people might not get it. So if she gets it and she thinks it's funny, I'm like, all right, I win.
gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you again for coming on the podcast today, and all the best, okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, no problem.
Thanks for talking to me.
I'm gonna send you that Indian restaurant review, okay?
Okay, definitely. I'm looking forward.
All right, all right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, bye.